Welcome back to the Tennessee Frugal Craftsman. I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk a little bit about doing a chicken run. We're going to do 3 separate videos. I've already done the garden area. You can look at that video, but I want to take just maybe 6 or 8 minutes and talk about doing a chicken run here. So I'll pull this around and we'll have a talk. As you can see, the chicken run is attached to the outbuilding, and the outbuilding I'll do a separate video on that. But what I've done, you can see the crushed rock here along the edge. The homeowner's going to rake that out and keep it up to the, just to the bottom of the trim board here. So what I did is this particular chicken run is about 10 feet wide, 10 foot 6 or 10 foot 8 long. It's got the same material on the for the meshing as the garden area did. It's a 2x4 mesh. Now down at the very bottom, I can zero in here. I actually did, for this chicken area, actually put in a small 1/4-inch mesh and buried that down in the ground, just so things won't dig in underneath of it like foxes and whatnot. And so I'll give a little bit of the detail of actually how I constructed this. It's what the homeowner said. It's the Beverly Hills of chicken runs here. This is just a regular 32-inch screen door from Lowe's. What I did is I took out the regular mesh or the screening, like you would have on a house, and I put in 1/4-inch mesh. A lot heavier, obviously, to keep chickens and whatnot from going through it. As far as the hardware, this is just a straight barrel bolts, 4-inch, 6-inch barrel bolt, and a regular handle. Now I'll step inside here. When the homeowner's inside, there's a little hook right here, so the chickens don't get out while she's doing work in here. As you can see, I framed everything of this chicken run with 4x4 pressure treated, and so I put one attached to the house. That one I just set down in the ground a little bit, put some crush underneath of it. Obviously it didn't need to be set in concrete, but all of these other ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are all set about 2 feet down in the ground. And I've got a couple bags of concrete, quickcrete around each one. And of course the other side is attached to the building. At the very top, this is another 4x4. That's a 12 foot, takes a little bit over because of the slope. It's about almost 10 foot 8, 10 foot 11. So I got a 12 foot and ran it across here. And that's sitting on top of these posts right there. So I cut the post to the angle that is appropriate here. That's about a 1.5-inch drop to every foot. At the top here, obviously it's about 8 feet up. Out here on this other end, it's about 6 foot 10, 7 foot, somewhere around there. It doesn't obviously need to be too tall. Now the very first thing that you do when you're laying this out after you've got your post set is you run your level line across here and attach a sill plate. That's just a 2x4 pressure treated. Everything out here is pressure treated, and that's screwed right to the studs right along, all the way along. It's sorry, my hand's in the way. It's screwed to the studs all the way along. Then I put one 12-foot pressure treated 4x4 all the way down through the middle. And again, that's sitting on that post down there, that middle post. And so the measurements of this are approximately 5 feet, 5 feet, and then 6 feet high. That allows me to put my mesh, the 6-foot mesh, in along here. So I had to put one strip and then put a narrow strip up over the top. And then everything on the outside has got a 1x4 pressure treated molding on it. Now here in the middle we put corrugated to put the corrugated roofing on, what we did is these are just 2x4s, and you can see everything here is attached with gussets. I still got to get a couple more for here, but everything has gussets on it, and that is to keep the pressure treated lumber, when it starts to twist in the sun and whatnot, it'll just hold it a little more secure. And also I used 3.5-inch decking screws, and I know those are, even though they're very, very hard, if they start twisting a lot, they can snap, and so I just wanted to make sure everything was secure. So everything in here is 4x4, like I said, so you've got 1, 2, and then 3. The bottom run down here is all 4x4, and again, these are about 5-foot spans. Now I did, like I said, put some of those heavier gusset plates there. There's no question that's probably more than enough and overkill, but I just didn't want the homeowner to have any problem with these 4x4s twisting and snapping the screws. Now I did put in 2 little corner braces here. That's just to keep that outside stable. Even though this is down in the concrete, it'll keep it from, over time moving any. And then there is mesh on the top, so that's about a 5-foot run of mesh, because maybe 5.5, because the corrugated roofing that I used up there is actually it's just a little under 6 feet, and so I'd cut maybe 3 inches off a 6-foot piece. So I got 2 12-foot pieces and 1 8-foot. And I cut the 12s obviously in half, and it worked perfectly. I also had the homeowner paint. I got the spacers and put them on top so I could screw down through. The manufacturer for the corrugated roofing suggested that stuff be painted white. So anyway, as far as the main door here, I just, as you can see, when I took the other mesh off, I made up another molding and had the painters paint that, and I just put that on around. And all I did is I just used a regular staple gun, and I stapled the entire perimeter of that mesh. Should never move. And then I made another molding here for a door stop to kind of give it a trim, and also for the screen door to hit against. And so overall, the cost of a chicken run like this, you're probably looking at somewhere around, just with the material, I'm guessing probably somewhere in around between $600 and $1,000 in material. And then you've got obviously your labor, and of course if you're doing your own labor, it's not too bad. Now obviously based upon the cost of lumber, that could change. That's why I give kind of a range. Now as far as the entrance into the chicken roost area, I just built this in here this morning. I'll show you what this looks like. All I did is I just put a little small set of hinges on it, cut out the plywood there, and I had it all framed. That's about a 10.5. So when that's opened up all the way up, it's about 10.5 by 12 or so. There was some debate about the size it needed to be, but overall that should be perfectly fine. And so seals it up nicely. And I'll come out here and give you one more look. Now again, the reason for some of this overkill, or what I'd say overkill, is this is a doorstep, and I know what would happen over time. People walking in and out might end up breaking those screws with the just kind of the twisting of that piece. And so those gussets there, top and bottom, I just did it to match and tie everything together. Should never allow that to move. Come out here, just give you a quick rundown. As far as the molding that I'm talking about is just 1x4, and I kind of trimmed it all off. So where the sun's there, trimmed everything off with that 1x4. On the corners, I actually used 1x4 on one side and then I got some 1x6 and just ripped it down so it was equal distance on each corner, so it's about 4.5 on each side. So you can see that. Like I said, I'll just step back. Like I said, when we get that all raked out, that'll look nice. You can kind of see the molding. Come around, and that is just about it. And so I'll do another video probably first of the week. Today it is the 22nd of January. So one of the colder days here in Tennessee. Is hardly getting above freezing, but anyway, we got the chicken run done, and like I said, next one we'll talk about the building. But until that time, pray you have a great day, and if you're ever building a chicken run, that's the way to do it. You have a great day.